Hello, my name is Prentice Potts. This is Module 11, Gifts for Students or Staff. So in this presentation, I'm going to discuss what's considered to be a gift, gifts to students, fundraising gifts and achievement gifts, gifts to staff, special efforts, and kind of the procedures of how things are at Washington High School. Then I'll summarize everything up. So what is a gift? A gift is a personal good or service that may be purchased with school funds. Example of something like that could be baby shower items, deployment gifts, etc. In order to determine if it is a gift, you should always just ask a simple question: can that item stay with the school if the person resigns or is terminated? So for gifts to students, you always must remember gifts must be appropriate and following the rules. Incentives for fundraising events, and used awards for special achievements. Um, it's always there's a two-part system to giving the gifts. There's the fundraising part. There's the special achievements. Um, Kind of how I've done in the past on special achievements might be something that I've just used my own funds to purchase for my classroom, and depending on how students maybe behave, I might award them like pieces of candy or something real basic like that. Fundraising gifts and achievement gifts. Fundraising gifts, when funds are raised, they should only be used for students who participated in that fundraiser. Um, the prize of a gift should always be age appropriate. Gifts should never favor one group over the other. So you can't go out and buy, one group tickets to Worlds of Fun and then buy another group T-shirts. Um, Groups or clubs who raise the funds get the funds. So in similar situations, I'm a basketball coach, so I can't use volleyball's money for buying my basketball team equipment after they've completed a fundraiser. Achievement gifts, special events. This would include athletic banquets, academic awards, assemblies. We've had National Honor Societies where we've given the students gifts after they've received their plaque or certification of being National Honor Society. During our athletic banquet last year for our seniors, we gave them a framed jersey um, that they could kind of take with them and keep. So those were examples of funds that were used at special events to buy student gifts. Gifts and awards must have nominal value and must be age appropriate. Always keep public opinion in mind, so people don't assume funds were spent incorrectly. That's huge. You know, I experienced a incident where we had purchased jerseys, and they didn't know where the funds had came from for the jerseys because they thought the jerseys were too expensive. Um, so that's just something to keep in mind. And another way to avoid that too is always run everything by your administration before any purchases. That way, there's no confusion on where the funds came from or how the funds are being used, or even if the funds from a school uh, fund is being used. So, so for gifts to staff members, gifts should be given to an individual by an organized committee who meets at least once a year. Gifts should be reasonable in price and paid with reimbursed funds. Example would be weddings. Maybe somebody's having a newborn child, or somebody unfortunately had a death in the family. That would be reasons and things that we could give gifts to staff members. So special efforts for students or staff, we've in our school never really had incident like this in my 3 to 4 years that I've been there. Uh, but what it is sometimes schools raise money for special situations. If a student or staff member becomes ill, funds could be gathered in their benefit. The district should be contacted in order to avoid any accounting issues. If there's established PTA group, then it's much easier to run the funds through that organization because the funds that someone is given can be considered taxable by the IRS. So, in the past, for example, we just had a math teacher who was also part of the National Guard be deployed to Kuwait, and I think we took up a fund to raise some money for his family and him. And instead of giving him funds, we gave him something that was to the same value. It was gift cards and things like that of that nature. So I believe there was probably $200 or $300 worth of gift cards, but was to like a restaurant, Texas Longhorn, Applebee's, Chili's, things like that. And it was given to his family. It was given to him for his family. So at Washington High School, the way it works is we have a designated committee in charge of raising all funds for staff. So the assistant librarian and a librarian are in charge of any type of small fundraisers that, like the deployment committee, or not. I'm sorry, not the deployment committee, but the committee that was in charge of gathering the funds for the math teacher who deployed. They were in charge of that. Anytime someone is pregnant, it is the librarian, the assistant librarian, who collect or kind of coordinate everything with the funds to make sure there's a gift given. Um, but going more down the line, our academy coordinators and teachers are responsible for raising funds for students in their academy. So the way our school is broken up this year and in the past, we've had pathways, but now we've switched to academies. So the head of that academy is responsible for coming up with any ideas, along with the teachers that are in that academy. They're responsible for executing those ideas to raise funds, which all those numbers are reported to the principal, secretary, as well as the principal. Any awards that are purchased for academies and given through students through the year, we do multiple academy awards where we give small tokens, $10 gift cards to, student of the semester or student of the quarter, highest GPA of the quarter, best attendance, things like that. But those are funds that are directly pulled out of our academy fund bank. Uh, each academy is budgeted around $2,800 to $3,000. That's given in the beginning. Any additional funds you raise, that is totally up to you and your academy, but it will go into your budget fund. That fund is also used for field trips and things of that sort. We also have a entity inside of our building. Actually, I don't think they will be there this year. I actually think they're going to another building in our district. But KU Gear Up in the past has always donated to get gifts for students, and that could be, pizza parties, ice cream socials, cookie parties, things like that. But KU Gear Up's funds are completely separate from our school funds. So, yeah. Um, all gifts and approval must come from final, say so from the administration. Usually our head principal, Dr. Paul, makes the final approval on anything we decide to do. So in summary, gifts for students or staff, biggest things, make sure all gifts are always age appropriate. Funds should be used for the group that raised it and the students that raise it. And when raising funds for special situations, try to use your PTA to raise and disperse the funds for tax reasons. So thank you for listening. Hope everybody has a great day.